Hey everybody, welcome again to another episode of the Cynical Marketers, episode 34. Summer's winding down, kids back in school for the most part. So,
yeah,
it's gone fast. This year is flying by.
I know. And we're on episode
34. We're episode 34. We started on January 1st of this year, 2025. January 1st, episode 1. And here we are, episode 35.
18 more, and then we'll be doing this for, 18 more. We're still,
right?
Yeah, 18 more and then a year. And we're still talking over each other and having fun doing this. So I love it. I love this for us.
I know. I saw this morning, someone posted, there was a TikTok video I saw that there's only 16 more Fridays until like Christmas music or something. I'm like, is that true? 16?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Scary.
Yeah, crazy.
So this week, we're going to talk about social media and just in general, the mess of it all. And there's a term for it, and it, that's out there. It's called the Enshittification. How everything will start good, but then it will degrade slowly over time, especially as platforms just figure out ways that really it's all about monetization. And I don't care what your social media platform is or tool.
Yeah.
It will get worse, and they're just trying to make more money.
Yeah.
And I know this episode came about because Nada's so upset recently from recent changes Instagram.
So I live on Instagram. That is my platform of choice. That's my platform of choice. That's where I've been for the last 15 years. I don't do Facebook. Facebook was always messy for me and gave away way too much of my personal info to everybody. So I do, have kind of a dormant profile on there that, we use to manage other people's pages if, we're being transparent. But Instagram is where I've lived for a very long time. I'm a little bit new to TikTok, like feeling like I am just starting out on TikTok. So my age is showing. But Instagram is where I've been, and I am so annoyed by Instagram because Instagram used to have a feature where for 30 days you could mute the content that you were not following. You could, every 30 days they would show you new things and you could be like, nope, irrelevant, mute for 30 days. I don't want to get this content. No more. And I am annoyed because what's happened to my feed over the last several days, it's been overtaken in large by political content on both sides. Oh, no, not one specific political lane. It's been both sides, and I cannot get it to go away. I already have my settings set to minimize political content on there, besides several accounts that I am following. But this is driving me absolutely insane because I have no way to make it go away. And so if I go and, click and do the like mute this, or I don't want to see this, it will be like, did this content upset you? Like, no, your platform is upsetting me because I have no control over what I'm seeing anymore. And I've played around with the thing where you can like mute certain keywords, right? Like, so I've tried that too. That does not seem to help. I literally yesterday had a moment of like, I'm about to delete this whole thing. Like I'm about to delete my account because if I see one more political post on here and like, look, you guys, like before if anybody listens to this and comes after me and says that I need to stay informed, I'm very well informed. I just don't get my information on Instagram. Just so we're clear on that. That is not why I am on that platform. So I don't want to see the rage baity content that I feel like is particularly
one more video about how this side's doing this and this side's doing that, right?
It's just designed to make people mad and engaged.
Yeah, exactly. The political content creators who just are capitalizing on rage. I've did a video about this before, is that if you want to grow a social media account, then you need to do politics or relationships because the platforms all reward engagement, and the best way to get engagement is to make people angry. And that's why everything is so rage baity now. And that's why too, the feeds are going this way because the platforms don't really care what you want to see. They don't care. They know what's going to keep people there. So that's why they're showing you all of the political posts now. And even if it's both sides, whatever side you agree with, they'll show you some of that. So you're like, yeah, my team's winning. And then they're going to show you some of the other side so that you get angry and you're like, gosh, I hate those people. Screw them, And it keeps you there, though. Now you're going to watch the next one, because then you watch this one and the next one's going to show up to make you angry or rah-rah for your team inside. And
Right.
same thing on relationships. It's all rage. And even if you look at the content creators who do other stuff, you know, there's some really popular accounts. Like there's some guys that I think are pretty funny, or ladies too. There's one, it's the worst theater kid you know. Connor McShane, I think is his name. And I think he's actually the most stolen content on TikTok. But it's really funny, but it's all like cringe and anger, and it's about making you angry. There's another one that I see out there that's your choir teacher ruining pop music. But it's about making you angry and uncomfortable, right? They're talented. But even if you're not doing political or relationship content, your content is supposed to be out there. And the best way is to make someone angry or uncomfortable. And that's what the platforms want. The platforms don't want you leaving. They exist to show you ads.
Yep.
That's
that
it.
Right there.
So whatever is going to keep you on there, that's what they're going to show you. They don't care. They don't care if you're going to say, no, I didn't like this content. Oh, noted. Here's 5 more of those.
So you can rage in comments on those.
Well, here you go. Here's more. Suck it. You know, what are you going to do? You're going to quit Instagram? No, you're not. You know, you're not.
I'm so annoyed because it's like,
there's nothing you can do about it. That's it.
There isn't.
You don't have any choice.
Yeah. That's the thing that's been driving me nuts, is the fact that I have...
You don't have to use them. Like, okay, if you're watching this and think I'm stupid, then you saw this as a clip on TikTok somewhere. You're on some social media platform somewhere to now call me stupid for this. But, you know, there are very, very, very few people out there. My wife is one of them, actually, who is not connected really in any way on social media, doesn't pay attention to it, has never done it. My wife has never done it.
I love that for her, by the way.
Rare.
You know, I love that.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, it's great.
It's amazing. It's honestly, I always admire people who are not.
Beginning.
Yeah. But that's because partially, Mike, like we're in it and we're noticing these things because a bulk of our work centers on these platforms, right? Like, so it's hard not to notice these things. And when you are on these platforms, you know, you are fed content that is currently trending on Instagram and Meta. It's all political. It is all political. There is no way to mute the damn thing, right? Like, and that's the part that drives me nuts. I go on TikTok and there's some woman on there who's apparently in love with her therapist and did like a 20-part series on TikTok that now everybody's reposting and talking about. And that's all I've seen for the last 5 days. I don't know who she is. I have never looked her up. I don't look up therapy content on TikTok, but that is all I'm getting because that's what's trending, right? And TikTok, I find, is a lot less political for me anyway. You know, I get a lot of of these random, like part 1 of 30 kind of stories on TikTok. Whereas like on Instagram, it's been so heavily political that I cannot cut through the noise. Like I have tried, and now because they've changed the algorithm and they're not allowing me to mute content I am not following for 30 days, I am now bombarded with garbage content I don't want to see that is like out there to like specifically make me mad and raise my blood pressure and ruin my day. And so, you know, what I'm frustrated with is that, you know, let's not even start on the whole Instagram just exposed everybody's location without permission to begin with, right? So that happened last week with the addition of maps, right?
Yep.
You know, that was a big thing, which by the way, the only reason and I'm always baffled by this. I'm an iPhone user. I've always been an iPhone user. Every time I download an app, I say, do not share my location within the settings of that app. So when Instagram changed their, you know, Meta changed their settings and exposed everybody's location in the last week, mine was fine because my settings were already within my phone, set to not share my location with specific apps. So it was kind of wild for me to see creators who have millions of followers and who, by the way, do controversial topics like politics and relationships, have their locations straight up exposed in real time. Because it wasn't even, if you turned it off, you had to turn it off in 2 separate places, I guess, because it wasn't just that it was exposing you like in your stories and your location by your username. If you posted something, your post had a location attached to it immediately. So and I'm always baffled. I'm like, you have 3 million subscribers or like followers, and you don't like you don't hide your location, like you don't do this in your settings of your phone. That in and of itself was wild to me, but I feel like that's maybe a separate conversation. But then the algorithm changes too, to not be able to mute content. It's just like we're entering this weird area where we're just being fed whatever, like you said, Mike, like whatever keeps us engaged and on the platform, right? So whatever that is for you, that's the content that you're going to get. It's either going to piss you off and you're going to react, or you're going to agree, you're going to comment, you're going to engage, but you're going to spend time there because that's what they want you to do. And it's just, you have no control over your feed anymore.
You're just spending more time.
Yeah, you have no control over
more sponsored content on TikTok. That little sponsored box where no one's closing anymore.
Yeah,
right. Same thing. Instagram, Facebook. It's just to show you ads. And I work in this. Right. I've worked in social media since the beginning. Nobody hates social media more than people who've had to work in it.
True story.
But this is why like on the business side, I tell businesses, like, you're not really part of the pop culture here, and you cannot try to ride these waves. You should not. Your business is meant to exist, hopefully, over a long period of time. So you should just be consistent. Right. Talk about your business, stay out of the pop culture.
Stay out of controversial things.
Because the algorithms are going to change. And it's not going to be this way forever. We've been around social media for long enough to know that what is cool, trending, and happening will always change. So the rage bait thing is a thing right now. It will not be forever. Right. Because people will start to turn on it.
Yeah.
And because this happens, it will. Maybe you can't remember back to when it wasn't about rage. There were a lot of the envy stuff and, remember what Facebook used to be. But you cannot try, because if you just try to catch algorithms all the time, then every time it changes, you're back at zero. So don't worry about it. And all these things, like, you don't want your business associated with this stuff. Just stay talking about your business. Just be regular people. You're not trying to do trending. I think my video most recently too was one of the reasons I say not to try and do that is because as a business owner, you have a limited amount of time you can set aside in any given week to create content, right?
Right.
So you have to make things that can last for a while. You want to make videos that talk about your business that you can reuse and repost. If you're trying to hit some latest trend or comment on the news, you can't reuse that next month.
Yeah.
But it took you the same amount of time to make it. Like, you got to be more judicious with your time. You got to make stuff that works for you. Yeah. Don't worry about this stuff.
And that's the advice nobody wants to hear, I feel, but it's such smart, sound advice for businesses, because if you're going to spend the time, stop chasing the trends. We can tell you, 100 stories of why that doesn't work.
But like we have a new client that we shot with like 2 weeks ago, right? Doing the first set of videos. It was 15 videos that we recorded, and it was about 4 hours.
Yeah.
To get that done.
Yeah.
And
that's
new,
if you're doing it
uncomfortable,
with
right?
But that's if you're hired somebody like us to go do things.
4-hour block of time.
Yeah. But if you are doing it all on your own, which a lot of small business owners do, that's going to be even more than 4 hours, right? Because then you are the one that has to do editing and posting and all of those things. And so, like Mike said, be conscious of how you're using your time and make it make sense for your business. These trends and these algorithms, like, it's driving me nuts. There is I'm just going to call him out by name. The New York divorce lawyer, James Saxton, I used to love watching him. He was on the Diary of the CEO, talked a lot about, he has some, very huge clients that he never obviously discloses who they are, but he's a very well-known divorce attorney in New York and has always done such great content, like a lot of very interesting insight into relationships, into why people get divorced, all levels of like successful people, regular people, whatever. And it's always been interesting. I've always loved watching him. Recently though, because he's kind of had this up, in the last 12 months or so, really has gone viral, has been on several amazing podcasts like the Diary of the CEO. So like, I love that podcast. He sort of became famous for these clips from these podcasts. And so he launched his own thing now, right? And the way that his clips are edited now, it's all rage bait. The way that they're all edited, it's a lot of him screaming into the microphone. Like, they're edited to be rage bait. And he's talking about, contemporary topics like, this celebrity who just paid out, I don't know how many millions for a lawsuit, for a sexual harassment lawsuit or whatever. And he's really cutting. The way that all the videos are cut is to get engagement. And so I had made a comment on one of his posts and I said, wow, this is like really far from where you were in the last 12 months. And I recognize that this is a strategy you're leaning into because of how every one of these videos is cut. This is not how you presented yourself on all these other podcasts. And so I got dragged into comments of people telling me, like, you don't know what you're talking about. And this isn't marketing, this is editing. I'm like, I'm well aware it's editing, and it's a specific kind of editing to get all of us talking in these comments. They're little clips
it's not marketing,
of things.
It's editing. What do you think editing is?
Yeah, exactly. But like that's what people, and I was like, yeah, I'm aware this is edited in a specific way, but it's to present him again as his personal brand in a specific light. And he went from somebody who had, awesome, amazing, like viral clips, clips go viral of things that he was saying. Now he's just this dude yelling into a microphone. And I was like, are we not seeing the transition of this personal brand of somebody like that I really like and admire and like had, read his books and was really fascinated with things that he had to say to this guy now just like sort of yelling into a microphone for clicks and engagement and likes. Like that's what he's doing. And so when you see that, like you see that is what everybody is leaning into. That is why, Mike, like you said, the relationship accounts are doing so well because that's what everybody is doing. And it's frustrating to watch because you're like, there's these creators that we've liked that you see this trajectory of chasing the trend, right? And you're like, how is this? That's not really, I now don't want to follow, like every clip now looks the same. You're angry, you're yelling about something. You think that your opinion on this one thing matters. It's such an odd trend. That's why I don't like the chasing trends, like you said, because it makes normal people like become these like caricatures of themselves online. I don't know. I just really,
unless you're a consumer product and you're priced at impulse purchase level. If you're a direct consumer product that can be purchased online, that's an impulse purchase level price, right? $30 or less. Then like if that's your business, then you should do whatever you can to be seen by as many people as you can. You need to just be seen. But everyone else, and we don't work too much with that anymore. We're a lot with service-based businesses now and B2B folks. So you're like in serious businesses, you're accountants, you're repairing people's cars, like people want to know that you're good at that job and that I can trust you.
Right.
Not that you're the best dancer or you have the sickest edits on TikTok and you know how to use CapCut the best.
Right.
It's just, that's how most businesses are. Most businesses are small service-based businesses here in the U.S. And it's like 81%, I think, the last time I saw from the Small Business Administration a stat.
Yeah.
Small service-based businesses. So that's most of us. It's 4 out of 5 of us out here in business.
Right.
That you don't need to worry about this stuff. Just talk about your business and just be normal. It's okay. Right. You're never going to get the views.
Right.
You will never go viral.
But you don't need to, though.
Means something different.
It's interesting because we went viral on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
we went viral on TikTok. Zero business out of that. But doing this and posting clips of our podcast. But doing this and doing videos of, of our podcast and talking very realistically about marketing has gotten us a client, because we're not out here to tell you. Yeah. We're not out here to tell you.
And we average like 30 something views a video.
Right.
We get like 30 views a video, right? And people are, there was a comment like, you guys don't have any following. You're nothing. You don't know nothing about anything. Like, look at you. And like,
we're like, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
But when we're seen by the right
put
people,
$0 into this.
Right.
We don't pay for advertising. We don't pay for promotion. We don't pay for any distribution. We don't, obviously you can tell we don't pay for production, right? Like, or edit, you know,
but we're
it's just our time. It's just us talking about this stuff. And we got a client from this.
Yeah. But because
so it's already paid off.
Like we know that the people that hear us, that understand what we're saying, that have been in business, have seen things, have dealt with other agencies, have done things on their own, they'll get what we're saying, because we're not going to sit here and be on social media and yell into microphones and tell you we can 100x your business, because no, we can't. And, that is not a realistic thing to promise anybody. And, yes, it's not really sexy for us to say, do your evergreen content, but do your evergreen content, do things that are relevant to your business. Like Mike said, and stop chasing the trends, because the trends aren't going to really pay off in the long run. And you are running a risk of potentially deteriorating your brand. Like really, people are going to look at you and be like, what a joke. Like, I don't care if my dentist can dance, like maybe it's a cute video once in a while, but if all of your videos are just chasing trends, you can't really even reuse that content. We
always joke about that one because I see that one a lot. So all those dentist videos, like, you are a local service business, right? And we're in the Chicagoland area, so there's a lot of dentists. People are not going to drive very far to go to their dentist, right? So you got seen, you did a funny dance video and it got 1 million views by all these people. You're a Chicagoland dentist.
Right.
Somebody in Savannah, Georgia, seeing you doing a funny dance video and commenting, they're never going to be a customer.
Right.
And then you have clients or patients in your practice maybe who are watching it and like, oh, is that why I was waiting 40 friggin' minutes today for my appointment? Because you guys were dancing in the back? I get it.
Right. And the internet will turn on you. The internet will internet. And they will.
At the clouds. I get it.
It takes just a tiny little bit to piss everybody off on the internet, and then you are that business that
and then what are you going to do next?
Fun of.
ClickUp is an example for me on this one, because you remember, ClickUp, and if you're still here watching this, do you know what ClickUp does? Can you tell me? I'm sure you've seen one of their videos, because they've been very viral. They haven't been lately because they're on the downward slide of their trend.
Right.
And this happens with people. If you find something that people like and that it made you go viral and then they're following you because of that, then you start getting pigeonholed and you're like, well, that's the only kind of content I can make then, because when I try something else, it dies. So I have to lean into this. And that's what ClickUp did.
Right.
But then there's going to come a point where they're like, oh, yeah, I've seen that. Oh, another parody.
Right.
I get it. And they're kind of done. Now, what are you going to do? What's your next thing? You're not going to recapture glory again, right? You're changing to something else, but all those people who liked you before, they're like, well, I don't think that's funny at all.
Right.
So you did all this, and maybe it worked for them and worked for a brief amount of time, but now what? What's your next step? And what are you going to do now?
And that's
because
the thing.
Were popular for this one thing.
That's the thing though, too. And even if you do chase the trends and you're popular for that one thing, here comes Instagram, and now they've changed their algorithm. And now they're going to push whatever content they think is performing best. They don't give a crap about you. And so now you're going to get all of your viral videos and all of the tricks that you were doing to get views and get engagement are now, trumped by whatever content Meta is going to push that gets the most engagement. And so there's no winning ever in this. So you may as well just do content that makes most sense for you. Be
consistent.
Be consistent.
Just a few views, right? With all of the platforms kind of going away from your followers mattering, and they're doing the TikTok algorithm now where everyone's going to get a chance.
Right.
Put it out there. You get 200 views. You're in the 200 view jail. Oh, okay, like this is so terrible. We only got 200 views. If someone invited you to speak at an event tomorrow and there were 200 people there, most of you would be terrified to stand out there in front of 200 people to talk.
Yep.
You're like, oh my gosh, I spoke to 200 people today at an event. That's a lot of people, 200 people.
Yep. Yeah.
People just discount views now. And like, oh, if you didn't get 1 million, it failed. Like, that is incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
That is so stupid.
And here's the thing, though, too. If you're in business, you're
That's what
not.
People are. People are stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah. I mean, like here's the thing. You're not a content creator. Stop. You don't need to put that kind of pressure on yourself to chase trends and do different things. Content creators do that because they publish like 5 or 6 different pieces of content a day. If that isn't your full-time job, what are you doing? Focus on your business. You know that social media exists for you to validate what you do. It's not out there. If somebody hears of you, they find you on Google Business, they find you through a referral or whatever it is, and they go to validate who you are. They're not going to care if you're dancing on freaking TikTok. They're going to care if you have a TikTok account and that you're there showing up talking about your business, and that there's some people that are following you and nobody's in your comments calling you incapable of doing what you say that you do, right? It's really more of a social proof rather than you needing to be on there chasing trends as a small business owner. Because again, the algorithm doesn't matter. Chase all the trends you want with your time, but the algorithm is going to come and screw you anyway. I mean, I don't know how else to say that. Like, they will do whatever they want to do. I mean, my Instagram is flooded with garbage right now. There's nothing I can do to make it go away either. Hey, like, you may as well just do things that are relevant for you. I don't know. That's our advice.
Relevant over a long period of time. So you can, as we tell people, like when you start making a library of content, it builds up over time. And now you've got this big bank of content that you can reuse and recycle, even maybe rework it a little bit. But, so you start with nothing, but it'll build for you over time. As long as you keep that content related to your business. For most of us, there's not a whole lot changing in the business world for most of us, especially in service-based businesses, right? We do these things, people kind of get it,
Right.
So there's not a whole lot of big changes. So most of what you're talking about is going to be good for a long period of time. So build up a library of content, and you're maximizing the impact of the time that you're going to put into it, because that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
If you're going to take an hour or 2 hours to shoot a video, do I want to use it once to try this dance that failed?
Yeah.
Or I'll do it on this video talking about a customer success story that even if it got the same number of views as the dance video, I can reuse this customer success story 5 more times.
Right.
And now I got 5x those views, even if it's 200. Now I got 1,000 total views out of this.
Right.
You can only use the viral attempt once.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I mean, it's not,
I think efficiency.
Yeah. Well, it's not sexy. Nobody wants to hear that advice, but it works. And so, we're, I don't know, but that's our advice for you guys. Just be consistent, do the content that makes sense for you. And, be aware of these things changing, these algorithms changes and things, but don't chase it. It's not, especially if you're a service-based business, don't fall into that trap. Don't tarnish your brand for likes and engagement from people that will never be your customers. Because I see so many people, like I said, that example of the lawyer. I see so many people doing that. And now I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? I don't know.
For the viral video.
And a lot of people echoed that too in comments, and you see it and you were like, well, this really sucks. So stay true to your core values in your business, stay focused on your business. And like Mike said, stay consistent. That's what works. So I don't know. That's it. It's not sexy advice, but it's good,
everybody.
though.
I know it's not cool. Your 22-year-old niece is going to try and get you to do, these sorority dance videos with your business, probably, right? But, and there is a way to do it. I do have an idea for a business to do one. I think there's a funny way to do it, but that is when someone has time to do it. And we can do it for that business because you actually have somebody who can do production for you. But whatever.
Exactly.
There we go. Another week. Tune in next week. We've got a guest coming. So we're working on schedules with guests, but we'll tease it a bit. But
yeah, there you go.
A friend of mine. So a guest. We haven't had a guest in a while, but
yeah, I know.
Hopefully we have one coming maybe next week. We'll see.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. We do appreciate it. We do like the few fans we have. We're not doing this for the millions of fans. We do that for the few who do enjoy what we have to say. So if you're still here, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.